Alright guys, I wanted to make a little video about hedgehog temperature today. Now this is my hedgehog Jasmine, she's over 7 years old, and I just wanted to talk about hedgehog temperature. I get a lot of questions about temperature, and I haven't actually mentioned it all that much in my videos because I don't think about it that much. My hedgehogs live in my pet room and that room stays about 75 degrees because of all the heat lights I have. But if you get a hedgehog, it's very important to know hedgehogs need to be kept at 74 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. If they're kept under that, it can be deadly for them. They can go into hibernation sometimes, or they're just too cold and they become inactive, they don't want to eat as much, and they can get sick and die. So most American homes are kept, I keep mine around 70 degrees year round. If your house is kept under 74, even if it's kept at 74, that could be too low, especially in winter when drafts and stuff come in. So the easiest way, people ask me all the time, how do you heat them up? I'd recommend against heat pads. Heat pads are under the bedding of the cage. You usually stick it on the bottom, and they're going to create a hot spot, and sometimes it can be too hot, cause burns, and so on. I would recommend against a heat pad. What I recommend for these guys is a simple, small light. I would use something, like I said, I don't really have to use anything because my pet room stays 75. But if your house is around 70 and you need a little bit of heat, I'd suggest a small heat light. Something like you would use for reptiles. Get a small heat light, and when I say small, I mean small. Like if your house is 70 degrees, a 25 watt light would be fine. Clip it onto the side of the cage like one of those red heat lights. Don't get one of those bright basking lights like a white light. You're not trying to give them a basking hot spot like you would for turtles or some reptiles. You're just trying to kind of calmly heat their whole cage. So something like a red heat light, or those ceramic heat emitters that don't give off any light, but they provide some heat. May's met this hedgehog many times, so don't worry about the cat being around the hedgehog. They've met each other many times in the past. But a small heat light clamped on with one of those clamp lights onto the side of the cage, around 25 watts, should raise the temperature of the cage a few degrees and make it safe for them. Don't go out there and buy some crazy heat light of like 100+ watts. You don't want them to have a 100-degree temperature in there. Between 74 and 80 is a good range. You can look up on websites. All different sites will say a little bit different, but between 74 and 80 is good. I'd say about 77 is ideal in my experience. So that's about it. It's a very important topic. I get asked this question all the time. How, do I need heat for my hedgehog? How hot should they be? And they should be between about 74 and 80. So make sure you get a little heat light over the cage, and you'll keep your hedgehog happy and healthy. So, say bye, Jasmine.